Barry SHILOH is my name. I'm a minister at the Holy Ghost Domain Bible Church, Japa Road, about 205. I want to share with you the goodness and the benefits and the gracefulness of God upon my life, what He's done, what He did some years back, how He rescued me from death, and how God went out of His way to make sure that I'm alive today. I will not be able to go into the nitty-gritty of the whole story, but convincingly I'll be able to pick one or 2 points for us to actually understand the importance of giving our life totally as we serve God, because there is benefit to it. Sometimes, some ago, I was on my way to church at Abraka. I left Efron. I live in Epa, to Abraka for the service. On my way down, that is to say, on the 27th day of September that year, it was a Sunday service. And on my way down, at Ovieria, I had an accident. I was carrying 3 persons in my car. To tell you how severe the accident was, my Benz 190 padded cut into 2. It was a very terrible one. And from the story we got from people that were around, it was in the morning. At about 10 minutes after 7, one thing was that I wondered how I managed to drive from this place to Ovieria at that space of time. And when the accident happened, it was so terrible that the car that hit me was carrying 3 persons. And if not for God, the story would have been different. The actual fact about the story was that the accident was terrible. I was hooked up in my car, and the other persons that I was carrying, they came out. My car got squeezed. They couldn't bring me out of the car. The policemen and some persons around rescued to see how they could bring me out. Now, before that time, from the story we got so far, when the car that hit me was coming from Agbo on a full swing, according to one of the police inspectors I later saw after the incident, after I got discharged from the hospital, he told me, he said the car flew up and was coming directly on top of my head where I was in my car. He said just about 2 feet to my head, a wind took the car from my head and slammed it on the ground. And the man that was driving the car was peeled out of the car. That's to tell you how dangerous, how fatal the accident was. The reason why I'm giving these testimonies for some person somewhere to know that there is God and there is truly God. And after they managed to peel me out of the car, they managed to pull me out of the car. My head got broken. My legs got broken. You know, interestingly, the bone in my leg pierced my skin, and that same bone got broken. Nobody knew where the pieces was. And one funny thing about the accident was that my engine got missing. Up to today, we don't know where the engine passed. And the car got spoiled beyond repair. The wonder here is, how did those 2 other persons survive? That is the mystery we can't discuss, because that one belongs to God alone. The other 3 men that were following, that were with the other man, they peeled the man out of the car and they lied him down and covered him. They were thinking of how to remove me from the car. The other funny thing about the story was that I was not breathing, I was not talking, my head was bleeding, my leg got broken and it got bent, so that one deformed on its own. And so if you ask me what happened to my leg, how I'm working my leg and what happened, I leave that story to God, because that's another mystery that nobody could actually explain, even myself. Now after some time, they tried all they could, and they brought iron to bend the car to see how I could be brought out, managed to bring me out, and they laid, let me say, myself close to the man and covered my enemy with cloth. But one interesting thing, what makes your story looks very interesting and very sweet, for somebody to know that when you are connected to God, no matter how deep the situation may be, God will always arrive. All right, so many things happened in course of the program, and before we're taken from that place, where they took us to Eku, right in Eku, and they said, this man is dead, this one is dead, and so there's nothing anybody can do about it. And Papa said, no, there's need for them to be transferred. They transferred me. The other one was taken to the mortuary, and I was taken to Lily Hospital, Lily Clinic. There I stayed for first day, second day, and the third day, and something happened. They said they could not continue. No, Lily said the only place where I can receive life now is UBTH. I had to be transferred from that place to UBTH. And when we got to UBTH, at the gate, they were told, you can't enter, you have to go to intensive care unit. From there, we went to intensive care unit. One serious thing happened that night. I just take that one, I'll stop the other story. The other next time we'll say something about the other part of the story. When we entered the intensive care unit, doctors came, they were testing and everything they did. The man they were testing was not breathing, but my body refused to go motorize, so I was still fresh, but I was not breathing. My eye was here. They used cotton to pack it and use cotton and plaster to hold it from the other side. And middle of the night, at about 2:45, my wife just got access to the place, was going in and coming back. Intensive care unit, you know that it's not possible. And middle of the night, at about 2:45, my wife saw one lady, a doctor with the doctor's cassock, and he said, good evening, ma. The lady said, there's no evening, there's nothing good about what are you saying? This is morning. He said, my husband had an accident. The doctors are not talking, because I was not given a word. And she came and she went to the place to test and said it's not breathing. And so my wife said, look at him very well. And they pushed me to a corner. The woman said, this blood is not in the blood bank. My wife said I'm an O positive. He said, and one other thing, he touched my wife and they pushed the bed to one corner. These things happened under 23 minutes and no doctor passed. To another area, when they got there, they saw the big chair that they used to use in big labs. My wife sat on it. He took the blood, did everything, and infused the thing into me. And my wife sat down on a chair. And when the woman left, I was saying, thank you. 5 doctors came. Madam, what are you doing here? The lady doctor brought me here. They said there's no lady doctor on duty. He said, no, one lady doctor. They said, why the blood? He said, did you go to the blood bank? He said, no. They said from you. Did they test? You said, no. There was confusion that night. And the deputy medical director, who happens to be in charge of the issue, and some other doctors, they came in. They were about 15. I was told, they were about 15. And they said, what happened? They were asking questions. They said, this thing. The 5 doctors that first came in, that saw the thing, one said, sir, the chair. He said, what chair? He said, that big chair, because the 5 of them saw it. The chair was not there. The one my wife was seated upon was not there. The blood was not there. Only the hanger was there and the bed. Then the man now said, give him a word. That was when I was given a word. So there are so many wonderful things. My wife didn't know this story. It was after I was discharged, when I went back for checkup, that the deputy medical director gave me the book to read. Look at what transpired. So that is say, he came by himself to give me life, to put something in me, and that was why I was able to survive so many things that happened.